You may have drawn jellyfish before, but have you ever drawn magical jellyfish? To do so, start off with a bunch of domes and make a little triangle underneath, like so. Make a line right above that triangle with a dark color and bring it about halfway up the dome. And turn the straight line into a scalloped line. And you'll know you're doing it right if they look like little gelatin pies. And blend it into the lighter color at the top with a mid-tone shade. And you can use little lines like this to make the blending look more seamless. With that same mid-tone shade, make a squiggly line coming off the triangle at the bottom. You kind of want to make it look like the texture of ruffles. You can blend it in with the latest color that you used, and add little shadows at the bottom with the darker color. By using a light color, you can use multiple, outline each jellyfish. And if you saw the mushroom video that I made, we're going to be using the same technique and blending the edges into a dark blue color and filling in all the negative space with dark blue. Now we're going to outline the little scallop line and add a bunch of dots coming up. If you add little highlights at the top like this, it'll really make it look like they're glowing. I'm adding more ruffles to the bottom, and I'm using the white pen to make even bigger dots. And I'm going back over it with marker, then going back over it again with even smaller white dots. Adding speckles all over to make it look like glitter. And for the tentacles, add long skinny lines coming from the bottom of each dome. Don't forget to add dots on this too to draw the pseudocytes. That's what they're called, I promise. You know that you can draw realistic looking roses using hearts? Start off with a pink or a light red circle and add a heart in the middle with a darker red. Leave some room at the bottom of the circle. Then make a little tiny lump in the center of the heart and make two more bigger lumps going around it, and in between those make even bigger ones. Do that until you reach the pointy parts of the heart. And make a second line branching down on the outside of the hearts. Make one of them go all the way down to the bottom of the circle. And coming off of those, make two straight lines going down until you get to, you guessed it, the bottom of the circle. Make a petal coming from in between the heart, and then two going around the edges. Then outline the bottom of the circle and make a petal on the bottom as well. These petals are rounded but pointy at the same time. You can kind of think of them like rounded triangles or trapezoids. And then of course fill in the rest of the petals and use the darker color to add shading to each of them. Start at the edge or the base of the petal and flick your marker away from the shadow. And then blend it all in with the original color and use a white pen to start highlighting. Just want to use singular lines in the center. And just start getting to the bigger petals on the outside. You want the lines to be a little bit thicker. And use the lighter pink color to make a few outline of the leaves in between them. And then go over all the white. Then use the green to go over the leaves. If you leave a few gaps of white in the pink of the leaves, it'll make them look a lot more realistic. And use a darker green to add shadows to the leaves, but also to the corner of the shadows of the rose. And you can go back and forth with the highlights and shadows.
You ask, I deliver. So first you're going to put a base layer, and it doesn't have to be perfect because wood has imperfections. Then you're kind of going to do this patterning, which is called cathedrals. And then I'm going to take a brown pencil crayon and kind of highlight the pattern more. Take a darker brown pencil crayon, add some more shading and some light flecks, and that's it.
Painting clouds doesn't have to be scary. I like to work on a wet background so my paint blends in, and I start by making little upside down U shapes that are highest in the middle and taper lower to the edges. Once I have my base, I wipe off my brush and blend down until I have a flat bottom. Finally, I'll go back in and add a few highlights in the front. As I'm painting, I try to make some of my clouds overlapping and some go off the edge. I hope this helps.